this is Philosophicus, and today I want to explore the question, does free will exist? I know, a pretty fundamental question, and I'm not claiming to have the ultimate answer to it, but I want to elaborate why I come to the conclusion that you and me, that we are free. And before I jump into this video, I want to just say that my English is not the best because I'm German and not a native English speaker. So please excuse me sometimes if I have wrong syntax or grammar. It shouldn't happen, but this is not scripted. I'm just trying to do my best because I also have the presentation and I just have one screen. So please excuse me if I sometimes struggle. But now let's get just started with the video. So what I first want to elaborate is what cause and effect means, not to me, but which kind of cause and effect I mean. I don't mean I have a thought and I put my hand up. I want to elaborate why that is the case. And to me, in my mind, if there's B, it has to have two circumstances. This is the case because, for example, if I would be sitting in the chair, me, A, which we will call A, then I would always, in a deterministic world where the environment stays the same, be sitting in my chair. Without excuse, I would never leave my chair and I would just sit there for the whole rest of my life. Now, if I have a variation of myself, A, called A2 in the following, for example, putting thought into the fact that I'm sitting in my chair, in that moment, myself and my view of myself changes and I have a difference in myself. So, this difference will make B. Otherwise, there would always be just A. I would be always sitting in my chair. If there is A and A2, the difference in A can make B. Or if there is A and B, the difference can make C. We just want to go, we just want to assume that there's one cause and not multiple causes for B because it's the simplest and it's enough to explain my argument. So what does this have to do with free will? Why do I think now that there's free will? So the thing is, if everything is determined, A and A2 will always follow into B. And that's what determinism says. Like, there is a cause and there is effect and there is a chain of causation, and that is what makes B, that then follows up into C, into D, and would totally make a chain of causation. It will always be influenced by the same structure, by the same environment, if there would be no other humans, no other beings. So we would in the end have someone who was always determined by A and A2 and would go from B to C to D. In determinism, what is also true is if there are multiple human beings, the circumstances following up into the consequences would always determine the result of the consequence. So, what does this mean? Why is this important? If there is free will, and that's my main argument, A and A2 can follow up into A. So it would break the deterministic structure. Because, as we said, and as we examined, A and A2 will always need to follow up into B. This means, for example, I have a lighter here. I put it down. And I pick it up again and I put it down. That is the same thought. I will do the same action. A and A2, which is me sitting here, me making a video, maybe me looking there, I can still pick up the lighter, still put it back down, still pick it up, and still put it back down again. This means A and A2 followed up into A, even though it is just a thought. Therefore, free will must exist. I would like to go back a little bit. And sorry to have this interruption right now. I don't want to film the video a fourth time. And so because there are actions like taking the lighter up, putting it down again, taking it up, putting it down again, therefore I conclude that free will exists. That is the basic argument. I know there can be a lot of critique to this, and I'm working on a book that will explore this argument further and will deal with some of the critique to it. But right now I just want to explore one critique, and that is if there is evolution and it is determined, which evolution seems to be true, it just doesn't need to be determined, then a need for security could cause A, right? So I can do the same action twice, and it would just be because I would need this security to survive, and that is the determined structure I live in. But, and that is I think the important point, the thought of A could be the same. The thought of A couldn't be the same. Maybe the idea. What I mean by this is putting the lighter, taking it up, putting it down again, taking it up and putting it down again. Putting it in one place, again, is the same thought. It's not the same structure. By taking the lighter up, I would be so much influenced by all the circumstances around me that I would put it into a different place back down. I would have the same security putting it in some near of me, but doing exactly the same action is in clear contrary to the deterministic structure. The second critique that I want to elaborate is what a deterministic person, a believer into determinism, would say, or maybe answer to this. That person would most likely say, well, you can never have the same situation twice, because everything is changing constantly and you can't calculate the consequences of each of these actions. Why I think that is wrong is because to the following. A thought is way more simple than all the structures in nature. It is a one-way ticket in a way. Like, if I take the lighter up and put it down, that is one thought. And the thought doesn't include anything else. It is pretty simple in its structure itself and the construct. If determinism would be true, this thought would be changed in its simplistic nature. But it isn't. The thought stays the same and it stays simple as it is. And that's basically it. I hope there will be a lot of discussion in the comments. I know it's not fully worked out. Like, I don't know if it's even the correct description to say worked out. It's not fully constructed, the argument. It is an argument that I have right now on 3 pages. I will be adding quite a few, I think, because quite a few, is it correct? I think because it is not yet totally self-explanatory. But I will work on that. And for now, this is all I can tell everyone, and I hope that you had fun during this video. I hope you could understand me. It was not too annoying that I sometimes missed words or something. I think I would never go through all of this in one go with correct English, and that was my goal. So that's my argument. Make of it what you want to. Maybe subscribe to the channel. There will be stuff in the future. I will explore more philosophical questions, this should be a start for the English videos. There are also German videos, and there will be more German videos except the one that is up right now. I wish you all a nice day, and have a nice week.